Second Peace Summit. Russians try to seize Toretsk. 40 billion euros for military aid from NATO. Welcome to OnePlus News. My name is Edbek Davladov, and it's the daily update on the military situation in Ukraine. Ukraine plans to organize the Second Peace Summit before the US presidential election in November this year. This time, representatives of Russia, the aggressor country, may attend. Ukraine's decision to convene a meeting before the US election underscores the country's urgency, especially given the possibility of Donald Trump's return to the White House. Bloomberg's report highlights this sense of urgency. Ukraine is seeking to use the summit process to reach a broad agreement on fundamental principles that would form the basis of a just world before engaging with Russia. The Swiss summit is focused on nuclear security, food security, and the return of abducted children. And it is around these issues that initial contact with Russian officials could be established. A Ukrainian official confirmed the plan to hold a second summit before the US elections. Several officials from Western allies said that any meeting would need to be carefully organized with a careful purpose and expectations. However, some US officials are still determining if a summit with Russia and Ukraine will occur. Over the past day, 146 combat clashes with Russian invaders were recorded at the front. According to a report by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in a telegram on the situation as of 8 a.m. on Thursday, June 11th. According to the updated information, over the past day, the Russians launched 4 missile strikes using 9 missiles at the position of Ukrainian units and settlements, as well as 56 airstrikes using 68 guided bombs. The enemy made over 4,000 shellings, including 116 using multiple launch rocket systems. Over the past day, the aviation, missile troops, and artillery of the defense forces conducted 12 strikes on the areas of Russian concentration, destroying 2 artillery systems and 1 electronic warfare radar station. The situation in the Toretsk section remains quite tense. For more than 10 days now, constant assaults have been going on. Russian invaders are trying to seize Toretsk, but they're not succeeding. Stanislav Kirsnov, platoon commander of the 95th Separate Air Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said this during a telethon. However, according to him, the enemy still has many superior forces, infantry, vehicles, artillery, and aviation. Therefore, it is challenging for the defense forces. During the first plenary session at NATO summit in Washington, EU heads of state and government made a significant decision, agreeing on a substantial 40 billion euros financial commitment to provide military assistance to Ukraine over the next year. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg provided this information during a press conference in Washington following the leaders' meeting. He noted that NATO is doing this not to prolong the war, but to ensure that this war ends as soon as possible with Ukraine's victory. President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, met with US House of Representatives members in Washington, D.C. He thanked both chambers and parties of Congress and the entire American people for their continued support for Ukraine. According to the Office of the President, Zelensky met with House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democratic Vice Chairwoman Katherine Clark, Representative Pete Aguilar, and the Honorable Nancy Pelosi, Appreciations Committee Chairman Rosa DeLauro, Armed Services Committee Chairman Adam Smith, Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Gregory Meeks, and Intelligence Committee Chairman James Himes. During the meeting, the President of Ukraine awarded Hakeem Jeffries with the Order of Merit, First Class. Zelensky also told US lawmakers about the attack on the Ahmadiet Children's Hospital. He emphasized that the latest Russian crime shows the importance of strengthening Ukraine's air defense and expanding the authorization for the use of American weapons against military targets in Russia. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more news and opinions at OnePlus News. Have a peaceful day.